everybody. Roll call. Got the pilot, got the co-pilot, GEOC operator, mission director. Alright, flight mission crew, FCIFs are complete, and flight currencies are all checked. Crew schedule has been published. We're NASA 872. Engine start expecting 0600. Estimated landing of 07 tomorrow morning. Subdivision duration is approximately 24.
All right, thanks everybody.
I didn't acknowledge your
First number.
Hawks are strong, powerful birds capable of flying thousands of miles each year. Some species undertake long migrational journeys, a testimony to their strength and stamina. Our bird will fly over 10,000 nautical miles and will reach an altitude of 65,000 feet.
Preparation for an HRX flight starts a couple of days before the flight, where we get together and look at the meteorological forecasts and decide where to send the aircraft.
Those targets are determined by the circulation of the atmosphere, which varies from day to day.
And so we design a flight based on meteorological data to go down and sample near the tropical tropopause, so what altitude to sample, also what latitude and longitude to sample.
We're looking at all the areas where the scientists want to fly, and we coordinate those areas with the Federal Aviation Administration.
We work with the scientists beginning at that time to come up with options and a plan to get them what they need. We try and maximize the time that we spend in the air.
For this experiment, we're focused on regions where temperatures are cold because we're interested in high altitude clouds. These clouds are about 10 miles or 16 kilometers above the surface.
When all the instruments are ready for flight and everything's been checked out and the aircraft's been checked out, and we button up all the hatches and we're ready for flight.
24 wind calms, altimeter 2984.
Once everything is ready in the control room, we give the OK for engine start.
Got control panel, secure the aircraft to shores.
So we're ready for aircraft taxi prep.
Copy, it work.
Center line, 22 left.
Roger.
NASA 872, thanks.
And Trapper, can I get a takeoff report?
Yes, sir. Runway's clear. You go for takeoff.
Roger that.
40 knots. 80 knots.
Takeoff, ready now.
Payload admission, this is Data, KQSI.
We fly it with a mouse and keyboard, and it's more like flying an airline that's always on autopilot.
Well, with the Global Hawk, we have these same controls, only we're just on the ground, and the aircraft could be, several thousand miles away.
Rather than pointing the nose in any given direction or setting a throttle for a particular power setting, we just tell the aircraft, go to this heading, go to this altitude, go to this airspeed. The system itself decides on the best way to get there.
And one of our challenges is to kind of understand the contingency state that the aircraft is in and make sure we understand what the aircraft is doing, and that's what we truly want the aircraft to do.
Most of the time the aircraft is flying in what we call a cruise climb mode. It's actually full throttle in a climb. It gets up to a maximum altitude and then it has to wait to burn fuel off, and as the aircraft gets lighter, it goes a little bit higher and a little bit higher, up to a maximum ceiling of about 65,000 feet.
Coming easy left. Release and then turn.
One of the things we do during these flights is we have a meteorological team, a team of forecasters down the hall who are watching the satellite products and telling us where thunderstorms are, for example.
There might be colder temperatures south of Hawaii versus just off the coast of South America or Central America. So we have to know where to direct the plane. So we look very carefully at the meteorological situation first. Then when they're in the air and you're flying along, oftentimes these forecasts are wrong.
So when the atmospheric conditions change during the flight, when we're out over the ocean, a lot of times there's a request for us to change our flight track. Maybe the area that they're interested in is in a different area. So one of the things that we will do is coordinate that flight change.
We will use the information we're collecting as we fly along to redirect the plane.
If you'll notice up on that forward deck of the airplane, there's a big white 48-inch dish. That's a KU, a commercial KU SATCOM dish, and that is constantly pointing at the satellite that we have subscribed